Maido! Hi there, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to talk about the deadly panels in panel discussions. Prezen o master shimashou. This is the 8th year of the Presentation Japan Series podcast. We're beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku in Tokyo. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaeigyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anatomo Prezen no Tachijin. Plus, Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muru ni Suru wa Yamimashou, and all are available on Amazon. Through this podcast, I want to help you become a better speaker, to be 1, clear, 2, confident, 3, persuasive, 4, highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan series. And every second Tuesday, the Business Tachijin no Oshier show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcasto show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 371. Today we're talking about how to present at a panel discussion. It's very common to see panel discussions at business events. There is danger lurking in the shadows, though. The hosts invite a number of experts, usually around 3 to 4, to interact with the MC, Master of Ceremony. The idea is that a range of views will emerge and a richer resource of information will be provided this way compared to the single speaker model. Sometimes there'll be a hybrid where you might be asked to give a short burst on your subject and then join the rest of the panel for the discussion component. Danger here is your personal and professional reputation is being put up for public evaluation. This is not just against an absolute standard, but also in a comparison with the other panel members. Some colleagues up on stage can be quite competitive, but you didn't get the memo. Your insights may come across as paltry when ranked against another panelist's sterling efforts. Or you might struggle to give a meaningful reply to the MC's questions and come across as a fake expert. The other end of the problem are those panelists who just talk way too much and lack self-awareness. Technical people can often be like this. They ramble on, and the MC has to publicly rein them in. This is not a good look. So be succinct in your answers. When we're asked to give a talk, hopefully we prepare well for the occasion, and we should rehearse what we're going to present. With a panel discussion, it is a bit illusory because it doesn't seem to be a presentation, but in fact it is. It is certainly judged that way by the audience. They don't say to themselves, "Oh, this is just a panel discussion, so I will suspend my usual cynicism, high expectations, and unrealistic standards accordingly." No, they are in full beast critic mode as per normal. Thinking of the panel talk answers as your own personal mini presentation is a good starting point. This will drive you to prepare properly. What does that mean, though? We should know what the MC is going to ask us in advance and prepare our answers ahead of time, so that we're not struggling to come up with a response on the spot. It is always good to check with the MC on the day, because things may have moved since they sent you the email on the questions they were planning to ask. We also have to be on the ball with paying close attention to the comments of the other panelists. The MC may suddenly ask us to match our comment to their remarks. If we are concentrating only on what we will say next, we may miss the cue and look frazzled. As the discussion moves, we have to be ready to make an unprepared comment, and so we should be mentally manufacturing possible answers to any questions which may arise. We need to be constantly adjusting to the flow of the conversation in real time. Find out more. We come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public courses, but we also do custom in-house programs. We do them in Japanese, we do them in English, we do them in our super safe classroom, and we do them live online. Our show today is being brought to you by, on the 15th of February, our Leadership Training for Managers course. On the 19th and 20th of February, we're doing high impact presentations. And on the 1st of March, we'll be doing Dale Carnegie course 12-week version. Go to our website, dale-carnegie.co.jp. That's Dale, D-A-L-E Carnegie, C-A-R-N-E-G-I-E.co.jp. Lots and lots of value there for you. To do better in Japan, email me at greg.story, that's greg.story, S-T-O-R-Y, at dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have over 2,300 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, every Monday, Tokyo time. Fridays, we have the Japan Business Mastery Show, and on Saturdays, we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from SMEs right up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Now, every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. Get my best-selling books on business in Japan. The Bible on Selling, Japan Sales Mastery, that's Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, which is Anatomo Present no Tachijin in translation, plus Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Mudni Suru wa Yamimashou. And all are available on Amazon. Welcome back. Being able to sprout statistics, references, quotes on the subject really adds weight to our reputation as an expert in this area. Normally, if we have a slide deck in a presentation, then all of the data is there, and we don't have to remember any of it. On a panel, though, being able to quote the information from memory is very attractive and impressive to an audience. Opinions are cheap, but knowledge has to be gained, and we need to demonstrate we have this subject firmly in our grasp. Now, having said that, it's not a bad thing to refer to some notes if the content is complex or challenging to recall. Don't worry, the audience won't rise as one and denounce you as a fraud for checking your notes or quoting from your notes. However, being able to unload the data unaided elevates your level of credibility to a very great height. This is particularly useful if you're the only one on the panel who can pull off this magic trick. I was chatting to a panelist before the action got underway, and he was telling me about the public speaking training he had received at his legal firm, so I was expecting a good performance. Well, it was pretty average. Why? He and ahed his way through it and had negative vocal mannerisms such as saying, way too often. That detracted from the believability of his comment content. What we say and how we say it matters. The other big error was he ignored his audience. I could see he hadn't been on too many panel discussions. The MC was seated at the end of the row of experts. Our panellist would receive a question from the MC, and while solely looking at the MC, deliver the response. Amateur mistake. He had an entire audience there to speak to, but he chose to ignore them. He could give a 6-second blast to the MC and then work his eye contact on individual members of the audience. In 1 minute, he could make 6 seconds of direct connection with 10 people each in the crowd. Generally, our answers takes 3 to 4 minutes, so there is a possibility of strongly engaging 40 members of the crowd per answer. That is a totally different result to ignoring the audience and just answering the MC's questions. One other thing is posture. Women have worked this out, so they rarely ever make rookie mistakes. However, some male panellists slump in their chairs and look simply unprofessional. Guys, never kick your legs out like you were watching the sports on TV at home. You might think that wouldn't happen, but you will see it. I recall an MC himself doing this during the discussion. I couldn't believe it. But there he was, in full sight, destroying his reputation. Also, please spare us a ringside view of your hairy shins, because your socks are too short. When we're up on stage, we're elevated, so the eye line of the audience is looking up at us, and hence the brutal calf exposure no one needs to see. Sit up straight and tall. Keep your knees together and remove all distractions from your message. Don't forget to use gestures which include the audience in your answers. Remove the risk and danger from being a panelist and instead turn the opportunity into a triumph of personal and professional brand building. Did you get value from today's show? If you did, then share the love around with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Until the next episode, go out there and apply the learnings from today and become a presentations legend amongst your circle. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week. Remember, I'm in your corner, your go-to guy for soft skills training in Tokyo, committed to your success here in Nippon.